What if seafood and bugs are closer than you think? What if your dinner and your nightmare are separated by a story? Tonight you might eat shrimp. You might peel it. You might dip it in sauce. You might eat it without thinking. No fear, no disgust, no big question. But nearby, a cockroach may be doing something similar. It may be hiding behind a cabinet. It may be searching for scraps. It may be eating whatever it finds. It may be surviving in the dark, just like many creatures do. And here is the uncomfortable part. Look closely at a shrimp, really closely. It does not look much like a fish. It has a hard shell. It has jointed legs. It has antennae. It has a segmented body. It looks like a tiny armored creature. It looks more bug-like than we admit. So why is one served on a plate? And why does the other make people scream? You may think the answer is simple. Maybe shrimp are clean. Maybe roaches are dirty. Maybe shrimp are safe. Maybe roaches are dangerous. Maybe shrimp just taste better. But the real answer is stranger. Your mind has a hidden system. It decides what feels edible. It decides what feels disgusting. Psychologists studied this system for decades. Paul Rozin helped explain how it works. It is called the disgust response. Once you understand it, food looks different. Your dinner plate looks different. Stay till the end. The last part will completely change how you think about this. By the end, you will understand something strange. You will understand why some foods feel normal. You will understand why others feel horrifying. And you will see why your reactions may not belong to you. To understand this, start with the animal itself. What is a shrimp? A shrimp is a crustacean. A cockroach is an insect. That sounds very different, but both belong to a bigger group. That group is called arthropods. Arthropods have hard outer skeletons. They have segmented bodies. They have jointed legs. This group includes insects. It includes spiders. It includes crabs. It includes lobsters. It includes shrimp. So shrimp and cockroaches are not worlds apart. They are closer than your appetite wants. And then it gets more uncomfortable. In 2010, researchers led by Jerome Regier published a study. It appeared in Nature. It changed the arthropod family tree. Their genetic analysis suggested something surprising. Insects did not evolve completely apart from crustaceans. They likely came from something crustacean-like. Think about that. The roach near your wall, the shrimp on your plate. They share a deep family connection. The creature you avoid, the creature you eat, they are closer relatives than either is to a fish. Let that sit for a moment. Food and filth are not separated by a huge biological wall. They are separated by a story. So how did shrimp escape the bug label? The answer is not just biology, it is presentation. Imagine an old fish market. Fishermen are selling shrimp. They are not calling them sea insects. That would ruin the sale. They call them seafood. They serve them with butter. They place them on elegant plates. They become part of celebration. They become part of fine dining. Now compare that to cockroaches. Roaches do not appear beside lemon wedges. They do not arrive at fancy restaurants. They appear in garbage. They appear in drains. They appear in cupboards. They appear in bathrooms. Shrimp were linked to oceans. Cockroaches were linked to decay. That location changed everything. But here is the strange part. Their behavior is not that different. Wild shrimp often scavenge. They eat algae. They eat dead organic matter. They eat decaying material on the seafloor. Cockroaches survive in a similar way. They search for scraps. They feed on available material. So disgust is not only about diet, it is about imagine location. Picture two similar creatures. Both hunt for leftovers. Both survive on what they find. Both have hard bodies. Both have jointed legs. But one lives in the ocean. The other lives near your toil. Your brain reacts differently. It does not judge only biology. It judges closeness. It judges place. It judges imagined contamination. A creature on the seafloor feels distant. A creature in your kitchen feels personal. This is where Paul Rozin matters. In 1987, Rozin and April Fallon published a major paper. It was called A Perspective on Disgust. It appeared in Psychological Review. Their idea was powerful. Disgust is not mainly about taste. Disgust is about contamination. Your mind is not just asking one question. It is not only asking if this tastes bad. It is asking something deeper. Could this make me sick? Could this make me dirty? Could this make me unclean? And here is the key. Culture often answers those questions. Chemistry does not always answer them. One Rozin experiment shows this clearly. People were offered juice. The juice had touched a dead cockroach. The cockroach was sterilized. It was clean. It was harmless. Scientifically, there was no danger. But people still refused the juice. Logic had the information. The cockroach was sterile. The juice was safe. But disgust did not care. Once contamination enters the mind, facts struggle. The feeling stays. Rozin found the same pattern elsewhere. People rejected soup stirred with a new comb. They rejected soup stirred with a new fly swatter. The objects were unused. They were still clean. They were not dangerous. But people still felt disgust. Why? Because the brain reacts to categories. A comb belongs to hair. A fly swatter belongs to insects. A cockroach belongs to filth. Once something enters that mental folder, it sticks. The folder says contaminated, and it is hard to remove. Now comes the twist. More than 2 billion people eat insects regularly. A 2013 report from the Food and Agriculture Organization said something striking. Over 1,900 insect species are eaten worldwide. Crickets are eaten in Thailand. Ants are eaten in parts of Mexico. Grasshoppers are eaten in Uganda. Mealworms are sold in grocery stores in the Netherlands. They are sold as sustainable protein. So imagine growing up with crickets as food. A shrimp cocktail might look strange. It might look as strange as a roach looks to you. That tells us something important. Disgust is not fully born with you. Much of it is installed. It is programmed early, often between ages 2 and 7. Imagine yourself as a toddler. You do not know roaches are disgusting yet. You see a small moving creature? You may feel curious. You may watch it crawl. You may even reach for it. Then something happens. A parent gasps. A sibling screams. A movie shows roaches in a filthy room.